Justice for one, justice for all. You get what you give when you've broken the law. Know what it costs before you commit it. Don't start a fight, I won't let you win it.
As a fan of Z to B grade films, I'm in sort of a mid-demographic of the fan base, in that I'm old enough to remember independent video stores, watching old slasher films on VHS, and catching bad movie marathons on TV, but I'm also young enough to where I just started to hit my mid-teens when DVDs and downloading started to get bigger, so it was a case of one door closing and one door opening. I still have so much access to these fantastic lesser-known gems, but the experience isn't nearly as fulfilling as it used to be. With video stores shutting down left and right, things are becoming more and more digital. Nearly gone are the days of walking into a mom and pop video store with your friends and renting something like Nail Gun Massacre because it had the most hilarious cover of the bunch. Apart from video stores, I also grew up with UPN movie marathons. If you were daring enough like me to sneak into the living room while your parents were asleep, you'd catch movies like Leprechaun, Pumpkinhead, Nightmare on Elm Street, and the occasional rip-off exploitation flick. This is where Nemesis comes into play. Brief history lesson about myself. Terminator is one of the first films I ever watched, quickly followed by Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Both are imprinted in my brain as two of the most perfect films ever made. So what makes this even better when you're a kid? Finding a string of shameless knockoffs on late night TV that are amazing simply because they remind you of the Terminator. Nemesis is a 1992 cyberpunk action film with elements from films like RoboCop, Terminator, and Blade Runner. Alex Rain, half man, half machine, is a special officer for the dystopian future LAPD. After taking out an information courier, he's heavily damaged in the line of duty while squaring off against a band of revolutionary terrorists called the Red Army Hammerheads. Even I can't say their gang name with a straight face. It takes the LAPD techs 6 months to put him back together. Afterwards, he's sent to Baja as a precautionary measure while he recuperates, since the Hammerheads are sure to be gunning for him. Here he can jog shirtless in the desert under the hot Baja sun with a wolf by his side, like any true badass introspective cybernetic hero should do in their spare time. After running into some Hammerheads at a bar and pumping them full of lead, Alex decides that it's time to stop the life he's been living. Some LAPD femme fatales show up to tell him that it's time to go back to work, but he wants to quit because he feels less and less human every time they rebuild him. Cut to a year later, Alex grew out a wicked mullet and decided to try his hand at smuggling. Unfortunately, things don't go so well and he ends up back in the clutches of the LAPD. Alex does his best impression of Sylvester Stallone from Rambo 3 as the commissioner gives him a mission that he can't refuse. After being wounded during a smuggling run, the LAPD techs added something new to Alex, a bomb connected to his heart.
So how do I stay alive, Commissioner?
The American president and the Prime Minister of Japan are meeting in LA in 3 days. The security plans for the summit have been stolen. I'd like to keep it quiet. I can't use anyone in our department to retrieve the discs. Too many goddamn Japanese around.
Blackmailed to do something for his government through being injected with something that will kill him in a certain time limit. I know this reminds me of another movie, I just can't put my finger on it. Alex is the right man for the job because the one that stole the security plans is his ex-boss and ex-lover Jarrett, or femme fatale number 1. She's gone rogue and is in cahoots with the Hammerheads. Alex accepts the mission and heads to Shanglu to track down Jarrett. He Ken Shiro's his way through some super useless undercover agents. He checks into a hotel, and this must be where the Hammerheads are because Electric Eye is everywhere. Alex has an undercover contact that he doesn't even know about named Billy. Billy is making sure that Alex finds and gets to Jarrett through basically being a male escort for Jarrett's bodacious partner Julian. Call me vain, but I really miss big-haired, athletic-bodied 80s girls. There's just something really sexy and badass about it. Some local authorities or thugs or something, I'm not sure, move in on Alex to find out what the LAPD would be doing in Shanglu. When he tells them of the bomb he has inside him, their rough demeanor quickly changes and they tuck tail, leaving him alone. The Hammerheads attack Alex while he's in the shower. They don't want to kill him, but rather get him on their side for their crusade of a better, more accepting world where humans and cyborgs stand side by side holding hands, singing Kumbaya or some shit. There was a camera implanted inside Alex's eye so the LAPD can monitor his every move. Jarrett's bombshell partner takes it out and gives Alex Jarrett's memory banks. Her body was destroyed, but her chip was removed so that her crusade can continue. Alex now has a new mission, to take Jarrett's chip to the Hammerheads who are waiting for him on top of a volcano.
You know I've got an encoded explosive in my heart.
That'll scramble the signals they try to send the bomb. You're safe for now.
Well, that was easy. The LAPD bust in and Alex makes a daring escape. Julian, however, is not so lucky. She ain't pretty no more. Alex plugs Jarrett's chip into an iPhone and is able to communicate with her. Through this, he learns the truth, that the commissioner himself is a cyborg, and that his goal is to turn humans into machines, and start a war against anybody who opposes his ideal cybernetic future. Alex has another big-ass gunfight and has a rematch with the face gun bastard that put him in the clink before. Things fare a lot better for him this time around. Arnold Schwarzenegger's stunt double almost takes Alex out, but Alex is saved by some random chick that's been following him around since he landed in Shanglu. Her name is Max. She and the supposed goons led by Shang Tsung that harassed Alex earlier are actually also part of the Hammerheads, though they kind of just tell Alex what he already knows about the Commissioner's plans, and then they get blown up by the LAPD. Really a pointless scene, actually, but I guess we needed more explosions.
You killed my sister, motherfucker!
That girl Alex blew away in the bar at the beginning of the film, yeah, that was her sister. If you feel like this adds absolutely nothing to the plot, you're not alone. I mean, look, she gets knocked out on the way to the volcano. She's supposed to be helping Alex, and he just ends up lugging her around on his shoulder. Pretty sure she's dead, dude. Spoke too soon. She's up and running again, somehow. The body count continues as Alex and Max fight off the LAPD in the jungle.
You're really more like us, Alex. More machine than human. Join us.
Never.
After a grueling battle, Alex and Max make it to the Hammerhead rendezvous point and take off. But nothing is ever this easy, as what's left of the Commissioner has one hell of a final showdown in mind. Endoskeleton Commissioner squares off against Alex in the cargo hold of the dropship, and it is awesome. Stop frame special effects can be a pretty mixed bag, but I think this looks absolutely fantastic. For a low-budget cinematic knockoff, the effects here look on par with the first Terminator film and RoboCop. Granted, those were 84 and 87, but for a knockoff in 92, this went above and beyond. If you haven't seen this movie and you're a lover of action, science fiction, low budget, bottom of the barrel, knockoff cinema, you gotta get your ass outside and hunt this one down. It is a fucking masterpiece.
Goddamn cop.
Goddamn terrorist.
Nemesis is so fucking cool. I mean, I feel like that's all I need to say. It is so fucking cool, and that's why you need to see it. But of course, I'll lay more on you than that. Number one, the action is purely and simply mind-blowing, on par and on many counts better than anything in any given supposed blockbuster flick. This movie is balls to the wall. It picks you up off your feet, slams you into a wall, and kicks you in the face. And before you even want to start counting your teeth, you're back up and begging for more. Number two, story. I honestly consider this as a cyberpunk classic, smuggling information through implanted chips, revolutionary uprising, high-tech guns, and cyborgs. It's awesome. Seeing Nemesis as a kid is what made me want to watch Blade Runner, read Philip K. Dick, and 2000 AD comics. I'm always going to have a special place in my heart for this movie. Number three, special effects. Okay, you know how I compared the special effects in Nemesis to films like RoboCop and The Terminator? Well, check this out. The special effects were done by a company called Fantasy 2 Film Effects, which, you guessed it, had a big part in the effects work for not only the first Terminator, but Terminator 2 as well, and a whole other slew of visually impressive films. The Abyss, Aliens, Hellboy, just to name a few. And just recently they worked on The Expendables. So I think it's pretty safe to say that this is a company that specializes in big-ass motherfuckers.
The fucking humans.
Number 4, interesting appearances. Apart from B-movie kings like Tim Thomerson, known for cinematic greats like Dollman and the greatest vampire film ever made, Near Dark, and Tom Matthews, who played Tommy Jarvis in one of the best Friday the 13th sequels, Jason Lives, and the slowly zombifying punk rock kid Freddy in the awesome Return of the Living Dead. You've got Brian James, a character actor known for playing heavies, who's been in everything from The Fifth Element to Tango and Cash. Keri Hiroyuki Togawa, who I think we all know as Shang Tsung, though I'm pretty partial to him as the pirate from the Billy Zane Phantom flick. Then we have Thomas Jane, who is maybe the most interesting appearance in this film. I mean, okay, first thing off the top of your head, what do you think of when I say Thomas Jane? Maybe The Punisher, Deep Blue Sea? You wouldn't be wrong, that'd be pretty common. But if you thought of the HBO series Hung, you would be dead center right on the money. Yeah, he's basically a gigolo in this film. Sure, he's credited as Billy the LAPD officer, but as far as I can tell, he's offering his sexual services to Julian along with information. As a bonus, Sven-Ole Thorsen and Peter Kent made appearances in the film. Probably an obscure reference to the average viewer, but both of these fellas have huge ties to Arnold Schwarzenegger and action films in general, which makes them noteworthy in my book. Sven has been friends with Arnold since his bodybuilding days and has bit roles in basically every movie Arnold has ever been in, and Peter has been Arnold's stunt double since The Terminator. And of course, I can't end this review without giving major credit to Oliver Granier. This guy has action hero written all over him, from the foreign accent to his stern expressions and rock-hard abs. He looks outright badass in trench coat and sunglasses, but at the same time has a sensitive air about him. His portrayal of a man becoming more and more machine is definitely believable because, well, damn it, just look at him. I'd fuck him.